Hi, and welcome to the Scientist Sage Sangha. And tonight we are talking about smile. And I love this topic all the time. I use it in therapy an incredible amount. But it started way, way back in 1963 with the guy, Harvey Ball, his name was, and he was an American artist that just came up with the iconic yellow smiley face that now, leads the emoji parade. And it started just because he wanted people to smile at each other and be kind and help other people smile. And so it started in that way, but it clearly grew and grew and grew where, it's a rare day that you don't see one of those smiley icons somewhere. And I love the idea of it, that he wanted to spread this. And it really is this universal language and this acknowledgement of, this person is probably friendly, that kind of thing. And it is like baby's first, the celebrated baby's first smile kind of thing. It's one of their first expressions. And it's built into us biologically. The biology of smiling, I'm going to talk a lot about it because it is one of the amazing gifts that was built into us. But when a baby smiles, mom gets a shot of dopamine in her brain, a nice little reward chemical. And then it gets some serotonin as well. So she feels like, this baby thing is pretty good. If I take care of the baby smiles and I feel good. So it really is a lovely loop that gets started very, very young. And the it's really practical, because you want mom to keep being happy. And when mom is feeling better and gets rewarded and gets calmed down, then she makes baby feel happy, and then baby smiles and the whole thing starts all over again. And that is the viral sense of smiling, because it really is like a contagion. And so when one person smiles at another person, often the other person just sort of reflexively smiles. And there's muscles here in our face. And when I say here, if you're just listening, it means down near your mouth. And then there's smile muscles up by your eyes. And some smiles are only the mouth, and some smiles are the whole face. But everybody has those, and they often work automatically, sometimes without us even knowing. One of the other things that, of course, triggers smiles is just being out in nature. Like when you just get out, like today where I live, it's fall, and I went outside and it's just warm enough, a little tinge of cold, and the leaves are changing. And I was just smiling because it's fall. And so there's many, many things that trigger this smile. You can be triggered by something that isn't even here in the moment. You can have a memory of something that you enjoyed, and all of a sudden your face is smiling. And this practice of triggering things like that, it's used by lots of people for lots of things. Some great, like when you don't speak the same languages, you get to connect with people by smiling. Some a little more nefarious, like a lot of the ads that are on TV and other media for things that are not necessarily going to make you well. But people are smiling and they seem to be enjoying them, and so why not? And it started with things like, cigarettes and things like that. But now it's spread everywhere. And this idea of I will be that smiley person if I have that thing. So there are a few misuses of it for sure. Like when the North Americans came to, or the Europeans came to North America and South America, and smiled and said, "Yes, we're your friends that came here." Then we know what happened from there. So the idea of this, though, is we have this wonderful built-in chemical response in our body. It actually soothes our body and helps us open up to other people, helps us to connect to other people. And like I say, it's wired right in. We don't have to know about it. We don't have to practice it. We don't need to know the science behind it. It just happens. And we can trick our brains into believing we're happy just by making our muscles near our mouth, near our eyes go into a smile. Our brains actually start changing the chemistry. And so it can absolutely impact depression, even short short time issues. So maybe you're sitting in traffic and you're like, oh yeah. But if you start to smile, maybe a song comes on the radio that you really like and you start to smile, you get relief. You get some relief from that anger and agitation, that sort of thing. So it's actually like a medicine that we take. And sometimes the world just delivers it to us as we, see a smiling baby or a cute puppy. And sometimes we can stop and think about it specifically. In the article that was on the email that went out about this, Sangha, it talked about many different things like improving immunity, improving your thought process, and so many things. Your heart rate, so many things are improved by a smile. And so it truly is medicine. Absolutely is medicine. And people actually practice it in different ways. People that do success or meditation coaching, things like that, they'll encourage people to take just 60-second smile breaks because it actually helps improve your mood, and it can be part of your routine. And it even works. We are so easily tricked if we smile at ourselves. So if we're looking in the mirror and we smile, our body reads it as a smile. It doesn't read it as our smile, so I'm not going to respond to it. It just reads it as a smile. And so that we can even just go look in the mirror and smile at ourselves. And the mirror neurons in our brain that pick up other people's emotion will pick up that reflection in the mirror. And it causes that cascade of better chemicals in our body, where our body becomes more relaxed. And that means more open to other people and just other ideas even. Our brains are less fixed and we can start to shift. When people are working on tedious work or things that are perhaps strenuous and tiring, literally it is that smile. Well, we know, like, the song goes, whistle while you work, that sort of thing. And literally for eons, people have made music while they work. They find things that they can amuse themselves with, and they smile. So this idea about that, it really is an important idea. And there's many kinds of smiles. There's smiles that are like what we call reward smiles. And reward smiles are things that, like the baby smiling at us. And so we've successfully done something the baby likes. A smile when somebody brings us a gift, or maybe we haven't seen someone for a long time. We naturally smile, and these are reward smiles. They actually deliver a reward. And there are connection smiles. So somebody looks across the room at somebody they'd like to get to know better, and they give them a smile, a little flirty. That is a connection that is a reward. And when people get that reward sense in their brain, they naturally reciprocate. And so there's lots of even wry smiles, like when people are at the airport and the plane is going to be delayed for 5 hours, and they give that wry smile, like we're in this together. Yep, here we are. Or when somebody trips on something and they look down at the ground and they look around, if they see people around, they smile. And they go, yeah, here we are. So there's so many different kinds of smiles and so many uses for smiles. Like I say, most of what we do just comes up naturally. We don't have to even think about it. But when my kids were young, I would take them on the transit, on buses and trains and things. And I said, let's see how many people we can make smile today. And they would smile, flash their little boy smiles, and people would smile back. And so, oh, they're so cute and that sort of thing. And we can spread that contagion. We can actually, and even if we don't feel particularly happy ourselves, we can spread this kind of contagion. And that's what Harvey Ball had in mind when he came up with World Smile Day, which is Friday, October the 6th. And that we can celebrate World Smile Day by smiling. Or, as someone just showed me, cut out a smiley face and wear it. Oh my God, it's so good. It is fabulous. But even we can use it as a little grease on the wheels in our day. And so if we're going along and something goes awry, you can't find your car keys, or, you spill your coffee, you can stop and smile, and it starts to change that chemistry in our body. And so it really is like this switch we can actually throw to shift things. It's amazing. It's a gift we can give that costs us nothing at all. Whenever I see a mom in a grocery store with a screaming child, I always make a point of smiling at them. And it is a conspiratorial smile. It's like, oh, I've been there, I've had whiny babies, and you're not alone, and I don't think you're a bad mom. Oh, look at you. Look at you hanging in there with that fussy baby. And that kind of a thing. We can keep sharing that. And that on this sort of mechanical level, we'll say, we do want to be endeared with other people. We want to be connected with other people. We want to show them when they're smiling at us. It's like a thank you. Oh, yes, thank you. You gave me a smile. I get to take it home, put it on my face. And that sort of good vibes kind of thing. And that is really what I encourage people to think about when they're doing that. And even if we feel a little bit odd smiling, like maybe in a group of people we don't know, it's a useful icebreaker. It weaves us back into society. And when we're upset and sort of off by ourselves, if we can just open up, and it doesn't have to be a big toothy grin, but just sort of like, oh, I'm here, I'm with you people. We can feel reconnected again. And so just the emotional smiling isn't just about association, okay? It is that, trigger our muscles in our face, and that triggers chemistry. But we can use this in other ways too. I teach a lot of people to meditate, and I encourage them. Part of meditation is sitting there with a slight smile on their face. Again, not the big toothy grin and not forced. Although even forced triggers chemicals in your body. But when it is just a slight smile, and it is, everybody talks about the Buddha smile. It's just a slight upturn of the mouth. And so many spiritual pictures include that. It doesn't matter what faith tradition it is, that there is that benevolent smile on someone's face. And so we can be our own spiritual shepherd going, and it tells our body that, it's okay. I'm right here with you. Things are okay. I can smile a bit. We'll see people laugh and smile at funerals, even, at car accidents, all sorts of things like that. When we smile at each other, we say, it's okay. It's going to be fine. And so when we do that sort of thing, that radiance, literally that radiance of the Buddha or other spiritual figures, Mother Mary in the Christian tradition, smiling down at baby Jesus, all those kinds of things. We bring this other energy to the situation. And so it's very useful to do, just very practical. We become our own sort of spiritual guide, our own physician when we give ourselves that medicine. And it helps our confidence, not in I can do anything and overcome anything, but just in this moment, I'm okay. And I can connect with other people. And that reassurance is really useful for us. So for the last few minutes of this, we're going to do a little bit of a longer meditation to sort of show you the application of smiling. So what I'd like you to do is get really comfortable. And feel free to close your eyes if you want to, or open eye if you'd like. And we're going to do a form of smile meditation. And if you'd like to hear more of those kinds of things, there's a wonderful Buddhist teacher, Tara Brach, that does this is where it came from, the first idea of it I was ever exposed to. And so as we go, how we're going to start is that we literally just start to breathe slowly, relaxing our bodies, and see if you just settle in to that natural, calm smile. And just move your face into the idea of just a little bit of a smile, not a whole lot, and it doesn't matter what it looks like on the outside, okay? just so you can feel it, so you feel your facial muscles move a bit. Again, not that big grin, that kind of thing, but just a slight smile. And just pay attention to the shift that it might cause in your body. And often people can actually feel a chemical change moving through their body as they just sit with this effortless smile. Just that resting state. And often it opens up to a feeling of well-being. And as you breathe slowly and deeply, imagine a smile moving through your whole body, like a smile in your lungs as you breathe in. Smiling lungs. Grateful for that oxygen you're putting in. And then a smiling heart. As that opens up your heart as we smile. Smiling into all of your body parts. You might have smiling hands. Or a smile in your arms, your hands crossed on your lap. And right down into your guts. Imagine a smile in your guts. Experience just the opening this effect can have. There is so much science that supports this. Healing of body parts, healing of mental conditions, healing of physical trauma. Not by force, but just by opening up with a smile. Just imagine your whole body and being opening up to the wonder of joy from just the beginnings of a slight smile. I can never keep myself from smiling when I'm teaching this meditation. I see people's bodies get comfortable, get still. People that have been restless, they settle in and enjoy this. It is joy coming into your body. And if you don't feel that, if you feel a resistance, anything like that, be patient. Be patient with it. Because sometimes we've frozen out of the experience of smiling. Might be trauma, it might be old experience, might be what we've learned around us, just a habit. But as you practice this smile meditation, you can bring the whole chemical process back online because it is our natural default state. So I encourage you to use this. It's a lovely way of working with your body. And even when you're out in nature, imagine all of nature smiling at you. There's a beautiful picture that Tara Brach uses, and there's a bird in the sky, and it looks like the whole sky is smiling. And this beautiful time of the year that I'm recording this, it's fall, and when I walk out, I smile and I feel like all of nature is smiling. And just rest into this experience. And for the people that are with me, feel free to settle into that while I close for the people that are going to watch this recording later. Again, it's Wise Heart Wellness, the Scientist Sage Sangha. And please send any questions, comments, donations, any topics you'd like to hear us speak on to scientistsage@gmail.com. And you can find other recordings like this on our YouTube page at Scientist Sage. Thank you so much for joining us. And we'll close with our typical. I am with you, you are with me. Blessed be. Thank you.